Hey everybody, it is about 1:27 in the morning, and well, normally I'd probably be doing a Monday Night Raw review right now, but unfortunately I did not see Raw. The reason I didn't see Raw is real simple. Well, first of all, it's the day after my birthday, and last night my second oldest sister and her husband uh, went out for a couple of drinks, went out to have a good time, if you will, and they decided to leave the kids here, the 15-year-old and the 2.5-year-old, which we had no problem with. And again, we had no problem with this, but then, my older sister husband came over today, dropped off my 6-year-old nephew. And me and my mom should have saw this coming because we didn't know, because it's Monday and he's got to go work. He's got this job where he does this every week. But besides that, I was also a little tired because I'd woken up early in the morning. I had to wake up because I went to bed early last night and I woke up and I went and checked the rec room, and my 15-year-old nephew left the light on, so I had to turn that off and whatever. But again, besides all that, and well, not besides that, but along with that, I kind of got tired throughout the day. I also had to go get my mom some creamer at the store for a coffee, so I was a little tired. So I took a nap here in my room. But what also made me tired is the fact we had to go back and forth. I had to keep an eye on the 6-year-old and the 2.5-year-old. The 15-year-old was no problem. The 15-year-old was absolutely no problem whatsoever. But the other two were like, And finally I rested, and once the parents came and picked them up, like I said, I rested a little bit. I went on the computer, and I have a habit of doing this. It's just something I like to do. I read the results. Basically, there are some, and you may know about this, some message boards out there, wrestling sites that post the results on a almost half-hour, 15-minute basis, if you will, 15, 20-minute basis of a live event, either it's a pay-per-view or a television show. And one of these sites did Raw. Now, normally I would have recorded Raw, but I was just still waking up. I was still a little tired. I mean, I am right now still, but like I said, I was a little tired, and so I just read the results. And what I looked at when I read these results, because here on the West Coast, Raw comes on about 6 o'clock if you have HD. So that basically means about 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, or whatever you want to call it. So anyway, I read the results. And basically what I saw was something that every wrestling fan had seen in the past. If you follow wrestling for a long time, any promotion has done this with these kind of storylines. All I saw was the typical, let's make it look like this dissension in the ranks of a team that's trying to defend a company's honor or a brand's honor or show whatever's honor, and make the heel group that's trying to take over look dominant. I mean, we've seen this storyline before. In fact, I remember clearly 9 years ago when they did this. Almost 9 years ago when they did this with the Alliance invasion angle. Kurt Angle, when he was part of the WWE at the time back in 2001, throughout the whole summer was on WWE's side until November, when he joined the Alliance. But as we found out at Survivor Series and afterwards, his joining of the Alliance was to crumple them from within and kind of spy on them and let Vince know the whole situation. And in a way, to me, that's exactly what we're seeing here with this whole Team Cena falling apart deal. Team Cena is falling apart at the seams, also it seems, if you will, just to make Nexus look stronger. But in the end, what it's going to do, if WWE follows in this direction, because the match is going to be an elimination match, and usually an elimination match means basically that's the end of the storyline. And if this is just for the summer, like I mentioned in another video, then hey, it had a good run. But basically, what it is that Cena's team sort of has dissension and all that, makes Nexus look stronger and everything. But basically, what it's going to be is Team Cena. And we all see this coming, and we could be wrong for some of us that see this coming. But for some of us that see this coming, all it's going to do is make Team Cena look smarter than Nexus and show that Nexus as rookies are not ready to be in the main event. They're not ready to be their own stable. They're not ready to be on their own. They're not ready for the big time because they just got outsmarted, if you will. And that's what it looks like to me. Again, I know I'm probably not the only one that sees it that way. I know that there's going to be some people at the Bleacher Report, the Baltimore Sun, Wrestling Inc., the PWI Torch, people here on YouTube that are all going to see it that way too. I mean, heck, the guys over at ADTV Wrestling didn't even like this episode of Raw. I mean, yeah, there were some moments they said that were good, but some of that were bad. It just wasn't a good Raw because apparently they probably see what I see, and what they see is nothing more than a storyline of setting up Nexus to look like they're going to be dominant, but in the end look like a bunch of dumbasses because they fell for the whole dissension thing. I mean, now WWE could throw out the fact that maybe in 2 weeks or so Wade Barrett comes out and says, we've been thinking and we've come to a conclusion that maybe this Team Cena is setting us up for a fall or something like that. Maybe they'll do that. We don't know. And J-Dub, I hate to break this to you, but unless it's part of the plan, Team Cena will be minus 2 members after next week. And I think you can guess who those 2 members are. No, it's not Khali or Bret Hart. And it's not Morrison or Truth, but guess. And I think you'll figure out who I'm talking about. But again, that's what it looks like to me, and that's why I didn't watch Raw tonight. I mean, I'm gonna download Raw, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna download it, put it onto a disc, and then I'm gonna put it onto a DVD. But again, that's the reason I didn't watch Raw tonight, because it really didn't seem that interesting to me, and all it is the same storyline that has been done day in or almost time in and time out. Any time a wrestling promotion has these kind of storylines. Okay? So that is why I didn't watch Raw, because this is just something I've seen before. Now again, if WWE throws a curveball at us and makes Wade Barrett in 2 weeks come out with Nexus and say, hey, we've been thinking about what's been going on with Team Cena, and we're just probably figuring all they're doing is setting us up kind of deal, that might be a good twist. That might be a good curveball right there. We don't know. But that's basically what it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. To me, I see that. I know some people could agree with me on this. If not, then that's your opinion. Go ahead, say what you want to say. But that's what I see. I mean, honestly, I see that. That's why I didn't watch this Raw, because I'd seen the storyline before develop in other promotions. But again, I am going to download it, and I am going to record it onto DVD, and I'm thus going to put it onto DVD later on. But again, that is basically why I didn't watch Raw. Also, the fact I was tired and I was just still waking up. So that's all I'm going to say. Oh, and by the way, J-Dub, I know you don't read spoilers. Spinning it. Anybody here at YouTube, I know you guys don't probably read spoilers. Some of you probably do. But tonight's Raw was a double Raw taping. That's right. The Raw you saw tonight was if you have HD and you saw it at 6 o'clock or whatever time, wherever you live, whatever time you saw it at, live, that was the live one. The next one you're going to see is going to be taped, because they did 2 Raw shows tonight from San Antonio. But that's all I'm going to say. Let me know your opinions, and I'll talk to you all later.